Gridiron is sponsored by Anna Marie's. If it ain't Anna Marie's, it ain't breakfast.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Gridiron. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chad Brubaker. District 3 cometh to District 1. District 3 go home 48-0. Springford with his second straight shutout. Coach, what an effort for you guys.
Was that John 3:16?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I was really driving in the car this morning, like, how do I get to open the show? And long trip for them. And
your
long
best
trip.
ideas come from your driving.
Right. It was all the teleprompter, too.
Yeah.
We put in the teleprompter for me. So Chambersburg makes a trip. You guys really put it to them. I know we always talk about offense in this first segment, but, boy, your defense really came huge for you guys. 2 pick sixes, another 2 interceptions, get you inside, the 15, 20-yard line. Just a huge defensive night for you guys. Yeah,
I say it quite often, probably don't say it enough, how well our defensive staff prepares our kids. And, we do a lot of film study. We encourage our kids to do a lot of independent film study. And they're prepared for what they're going to see. And, if you watch the game, we had a little muff at the beginning.
Well, you're stealing my questions. Hold on, pump the brakes on that right there. Defense, and then we'll get to that question. Go ahead.
Oh,
Let's get back to the defense a little bit.
You're setting me up?
Yeah. I'm going to ask the question here a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, our guys, our defensive guys just do a great job. And here's the other thing. We have Donnie Nicoline was back at defensive tackle. Ryan Horvath and Cole Turner are not only smart kids, they're smart football players. And, Cole Turner's interception was one where, he was just creeping and saw the quarterback kind of float it, and he just took off, and it was an easy interception and touchdown. But they just do a great job. The one thing, we're not very big overall. Donnie certainly helps us, but at the end of the day, Donnie's 240 pounds and is hard to move because his thighs are the size of
arms
2 of mine.
Yeah.
And but we run, we pursue, we get hats to the ball, as they say. And, we've done a great job of tackling too. We practice, we're very safe in practice as far as hitting goes. We're tackling donuts, we're tackling heavy bags, we're tackling, we have all different kinds of tackling drills that we do for different angles, different, inside out, outside in, straight on. And we tackle shields and bags, but we do it with a purpose. We do it and hold them to accountability. When we go in practice, like scout team versus varsity, we tag the hips, and we want them to tag with 2 hands on the hips, which puts you in a position to make a wrap and roll tackle. So we take care of our kids in practice, but we make sure that technique-wise and angle-wise and pursuit angles and all those things are correct, and our defense does a nice job with that.
All right, we're going to come back to the defense in our second segment here. So, I was talking to the kids in school, non-football kids that went to the game because it was nice to see the kids.
Yeah.
Back in the game.
That was great.
Right, kids
and it was youth night, which was huge, and we had honorary captains, the Upper Providence Little League team that was in the Little League World Series. It was a great night.
So, I asked the kids in school, I'm like, hey, you watch the Gridiron? And occasionally you get to yeah, Mr. Brennan, you watch it. So I go, what should I ask Coach? You give me something to ask Coach about. They go, what was he thinking on the opening kickoff? So here's the question. I know, is that really situational football? It's the opening kickoff of the game, essentially, once again, I'm being the outside guy.
Sure.
You're giving him an extra possession now, because you muff it, right? That stuff,
that was the result.
Right.
But that wasn't the plan.
I know it's not the plan, but do you, I guess what I'm saying is, maybe get a lead, or whatever, maybe it's.
Well, again, that's always the plan. That was the plan, to get a lead. But here's what I'll say about that. I take responsibility for it. I'm the kickoff return guy.
Okay.
All right. But so what we saw something on film and thought we could take advantage of it. Sometimes, again, you're dealing with 14, 17, 18-year-old kids that their brains are still forming. And, we said, hey, listen, if there's any shot that, some guy hangs back across the field or whatever, don't throw it. Matt thought he could make the throw. And I trust Matt. Like, at the end of the day, we have to trust our players. And really, there was one block. If we had made the one block, there was a guy that kind of hung back. We almost got him blocked, but we had it set up perfectly if we make that block. Now, here's the thing. What we do when we run gadgets, and I'll tell you, and we'll give a little behind the curtains here.
Love behind the curtains.
It is, after seasons, I assess and watch the entire season back and say, what could we have done differently here? If you remember back, a few years ago, or even when I started here, we had gadgets quite a bit. Because, listen, we were in a position where, we hadn't won, and we were going to do whatever it takes to get an advantage because talent-wise and, all those things, maybe we weren't quite there yet. We took shots. And when you start to get better and you're consistently better, now you just want to consistently perform and you start to get more conservative. My assessment of our offense and our program is that we're getting a little conservative, and we want people to see that, you better not take a nap during the game at any point because we're going to take a shot. And so I made a commitment in my own mind to doing some of those things. Now, you forget Westchester East, the first play of the second half, we came out in a formation, all right, and we ran a trick play. We ran another gadget play on Friday night that probably a lot of people didn't recognize, but we were unbalanced, hid the tight end, probably had a pass interference call, didn't get called. But we're going to do a better job this year of keeping the pedal down and trying to keep people on their toes. At the end of the day, teams have to practice, even though we didn't
Right, yeah, I got what
do
you're
that
saying.
correctly.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Teams have to practice. Teams have to practice that. So, when teams line up in a muddle huddle, 99% of the time they don't run it. But guess what? You got to practice for it. So
yeah, I guess once again here, I'm a big gadget guy. I like the gadget stuff. I guess I'm more. It's situational. It's the opening kickoff of the game.
That was the only kickoff return we got.
I know, but I guess
no.
You understand,
we wanted to make a big play.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we do that and we gain 70 yards, you're sitting here saying that's
what a call.
Brilliant.
Great call, right?
So,
exactly.
The nature of the armchair quarterback, and I'm not accusing you of being that. You're answering very objectively.
Yeah, I'm Big J journalism right now, that sort of thing.
But the nature of armchair quarterbacks is, and people get caught up in this, is, well, why didn't he do this? Or, man, that didn't work. Why? At the end of the day, they play too. Yeah. So their kid did a really nice job, so hats off to him. Either he recognized it or he stayed on the backside in his lane. On film, he didn't. On film, we had 3 kickoffs where that kid was coming across the field inside the other hash, and we thought we had it. So sometimes you have to tip your hat to the other guys. Team. And, that doesn't mean – because a play didn't work doesn't mean it's a bad play. Mm-hmm. There's plays that work that are bad plays.
Right, yeah.
Running into plays where you're – like if you're speaking from an offensive perspective, running into a play where you're outnumbered – is not a good play, but your running back might make a good move and gain 10 yards.
I think you saw that with that touchdown in that week one where you guys didn't block it, whatever. Harry made a guy miss and you scored a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, right,
so I'm
exactly.
Saying, right. Maybe whatever.
The play design was fine. We didn't execute it, but our running back just got there and they didn't. So.
Listen, I'm the first in some of those broadcasts that I did for RCTV where I'd be like, he's got to run it here, and like you throw it, and you're like, I'm not. It's not a criticism.
Right,
I'm just thinking what's going in. I want to know what's going on.
Oh, I have a tally sheet at home. I got you on my list.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, I'm on the list there somewhere. All right, before we do highlights real quick here, I know we've kind of gone on here. Just your quick assessment of the offense. I know we talk about, the coach talk, getting better every week. Were there things you saw from week 1 to week 2 that made you happy?
Yeah, I thought we I thought, well, I'll start with the negative. We need to run the ball better. That's a double-edged sword. We need guys to be better assignment-wise up front, and we also need our running backs to trust the guys up front and continue. Sometimes it is a 4-yard gain. Stay in the hole and get the 4 yards. Don't try to make it into something big every day.
Play, yeah.
Right. That aside, our receivers and our quarterback have done an unbelievable job in the first 2 weeks. We lost Nick Teets, right? We lost Andrew Yoon. Zack Zollers played, Colton Kashira played, but we thought we had some guys coming back. They had to get over that hump from the junior to senior year, and they've done a tremendous job. So you have Peyton West, Colton Kashira, Carson Bogdan, Zack Zollers, Gage Swanger. We have 2 sophomores that are going to continue to push to get in the mix. And our quarterback is, he's completing 80% of his passes right now, so I'm going to not say too much about that. Like he's
making the right decisions.
And that's what was great about Ryan. Ryan makes good decisions. He gets us into the right play. He sees things. We ran, again, a couple bubbles on Friday night that were him, and we can't call that from the sideline because we think we know what they're going to be in, but they don't have to be in that. They can change their coverages. They can change their fronts. So at the end of the day, our quarterback has the license to make a lot of decisions on the fly and communicate that and get us into a better play.
All right, Coach, good stuff right there. Let's check out the offensive highlights from Springford, Chambersburg.
Offensive highlights are sponsored by What's Hot? Cards and Collectibles.
All right, so right here, a little RPO action. You see, great job. Watch number 80 right there. He comes in, and that's all that has to happen.
Those 2 steps make
Those 2 steps, then he can't recover. This is a nice job here. If this ball is anywhere but where he throws it, Carson Bogdan doesn't score. All right, but Ryan, this is what I'm talking about with Ryan.
So you play action one way, try to roll out the other way, yeah.
And if he puts that anywhere else, Carson doesn't score. He puts it right where it needs to be so he can run. Here's another play action pass. This is Zack Zollers. Zack has 4 touchdown receptions in the first 2 games. Ryan Freed had 4 touchdown throws on Friday night. And, again, just puts it right where it needs to be. And this is a really nice throw.
Yep.
4 verticals, we call it. And Gage Swanger, he throws it right in between the linebackers and right
over top the middle linebacker. Yeah.
And this is Chris Brittingham, who's a young running back for us. All right, Chris is still learning the game, but he has some really good instincts. So he has 2 touchdowns already this season near the end of the games when we're coming down a little bit off our ones, and he did a really nice job there to score.
All right, Coach, good stuff right there. Way to answer those hard-hitting journalism questions here on the Gridiron.
Hey, we're gonna be transparent.
All right, like we're going. All right, take a quick commercial break here. We'll be back with the defensive highlights from Springford, Chambersburg.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house. Pick a safe meeting spot and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Hey!
There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Welcome back to the Gridiron. I'm your host, John Brennan, with the head coach, Chad Brubaker. All right, Coach, before we talk defense here for a second, anything on your agenda list? Anything else going on?
Well-
The store, like you can go online and
Yeah, there
do
is
some shopping.
You can. Just a quick note. It says Booster Club at the top, and they apparently don't have the technology to change their webpage. It really is not. It's just Springford football. It's not a fundraiser. It's just a store. So we don't make any money off of that. But you can buy. That's open till, what's the date today?
9th.
I think it's open till sometime next week, maybe the 15th,
Okay.
14th, 15th. So you can go on Facebook, get that, Twitter, that's out there. I'll put it on springfordfootball.net as
Okay.
well. Additionally, we just finished our telethon, and all that money goes directly to our players. And this year we raised almost $39,000. So
Wow.
huge thank you to the community and also friends and family of football players, businesses who donated money. Again, that money goes for like pre and post game meals. It goes for, water. It goes for gear. The kids have incentives to raise money, so for each level they get,
Get some things.
so probably 10 grand of that is gone already in
Okay.
gear. But really appreciate that. And what else? There was something else. Oh, I want to thank all of our kids who went out to Montclair on Tuesday. We didn't have school on Tuesday for Rosh Hashanah, and our kids took part of their day to go down there and clean out houses. Really, I went to
Coach Rodenball's old stomping grounds there. in Montclair.
and really hard to see.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff. People's houses are, covered in mud. Their backyards, are just trash everywhere because of the flooding. Drywall and things ruined, flooring ruined. So our kids went down there, and we had a bunch of different crews, and they went in and helped different houses, clean up and help people try to get back on their feet. But really, really hard to see for families.
Yeah, and good for the kids too. Shows them a little bit. It's not always a perfect life.
Oh,
and
sure, it
things
was good for them.
Adulting
Yeah,
is
good
tough
for them to
sometimes.
see.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was good for them to see. So, and they were really good about it. And I was exhausted that day just from doing the 2 hours. I think emotionally too.
Sure.
Like just talking
Seeing
to
it, yeah,
people
yep.
and seeing it, and
I was glued last week. I was glued to the TV. You couldn't fathom what was
Yeah.
going on. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the game here. So let's get back to your defense here. Now, once again, I'm the outside guy. I'm not the football guy. I watched the film last week. Now it's highlights you show, but I was like, wow, this quarterback is dynamic. He can make plays out there. So what was the key to your defense to kind of taking him out of the game?
I just think we were faster.
Okay.
Overall, like we play at a faster pace, and our kids play fast defensively. And I think, they were trying to run like the inverted veer stuff with the quarterback, where the running back comes across his face and then he's reading the defensive end. And they did that a couple times, but our guys are getting off blocks real quickly. Donnie Nicoline back. I mean, we had, I don't remember exactly, I want to say like 11 or 12 tackles for loss. And that's because guys aren't staying blocked. You got to get off blocks. And we struggled with that, honestly, in our scrimmage. And so the defensive staff, again, is very prescriptive. So if we're struggling with that, you're going to see drills in practice to address that. And so we've gotten a lot better just even in 2 weeks. But, I think that we did an excellent job of taking away their first read. And once you take away the first read, whether it's in the run game or the passing game, your quarterback better be experienced and know where he's going to go with the ball or what he's going to do.
It's crazy how, like, on TV they talk about things, but then how it pays fruition in actual games. They talk about turnovers, and they talk about winning the battle up front in the offensive and defensive line. Your defensive line won the battle Friday night. You caused some turnovers, and look at the score. It's crazy how, when you get people outside, or whatever, but then the people that know football talk about win up front, win the turnover battle, and you win football games.
They also had a bad snap on a punt. Actually, had a couple.
Leads to points.
The first punt we almost blocked. I thought we did, but if he had I think he shanked it, but if he had punted it normally, we would have blocked it. So I was teasing the defense. Like, we played with short fields. We had under 250 yards of offense. We played with short fields the whole night. The other thing that we didn't mention is that we didn't have our kicker on Friday night. You know, I was nervous about that. So, you know, we didn't have a backup kicker. We've been trying to get one. We finally do have one. But Matt Zollers, our freshman, he kicked off and he punted on Friday night and did a pretty good job for just being asked
to go fill
to
in
do
for
that.
a week, yeah.
So, but we weren't going to kick extra points. So we went for 2 every time. We're flipping offense and defense. I forgot.
Yeah, I thought this is a
my
defensive
fault.
segment here.
So we had short fields.
Yeah, they did a good job. Right. They won the turnover battle.
Yeah.
They won that was the whole question
Yep,
there, right?
we had short
That's where
fields.
you're like, yes, those simple things they talk
Yes.
about in football do win football games.
They do.
They
In
do.
high school, listen, it's much more amplified in the NFL and college than in high school. Like, you know, the number one indicator of whether you're going to win, I think, statistically in football is if you block a punt.
Really?
Correct. But I think that's mostly in the NFL and college. In high school, you know, where there's a lot more
Sometimes teams really struggle with special teams,
and
too.
there's more inconsistency, you know, whatever. So you can have a really good team that doesn't have a great long snapper and a punt can get blocked, but they're still going to win by 50. Like,
Gotcha.
that doesn't happen in the NFL and college.
I got what you're
So,
saying. All right. All right, Coach, let's check out the defensive highlights from Springford, Chambersburg.
Defensive highlights are sponsored by What's Hot Cards and Collectibles.
I think this is this is inside. I'm sorry, this is inverted veer, and so here's the end zone version. So they're reading Gavin Schaefer there, and also, you know, we have some linebackers. So see what Gavin does. The quarterback probably should have pulled that, but Gavin was in and out real quick, and he kind of struggled. Watch.
Big
This is
pressure.
Cole
there
Turner.
It is. Easy.
Cole Turner, he shouldn't be putting that ball up. We don't want to get a 15-yard penalty, especially
But
when
you can
we're
see
going
the
for 2.
immediate pressure.
Yeah, immediate pressure, getting a hurry. All right, getting hands up in the face. And Cole gets a pretty easy touchdown, all things considered.
This is a different quarterback.
Yeah,
now.
they brought in a different quarterback. This was, I think, Gavin Schaefer that got the sack, as well as Mike Bendowski was in there. He was blitzing.
But good little pause in case he gives it to the running back. He's there, ready to make that play if he needs to.
So they moved the quarterback to running back and brought in a new quarterback. This is Peyton West.
He's holding the ball too.
Well, that was, if you hold it like that.
All right, you're all right with that type.
Yeah. I like kids celebrating. I don't want anybody to show up the other team, but I like kids that are having fun and celebrating. And, you know, I don't think that was malicious, nor was Cole trying to be malicious. But so, again, Peyton
Another
West just
interception.
jumping it. This one he didn't take back. But, you know, Peyton had dropped one earlier, and so he was pretty excited to get these 2. He just did a great job sitting on it.
And the quarterback, he's only going there. It's all he's looking. He's only looking at that spot either in the field too.
Yep.
All right, Coach. Chambersburg in the book. Now, District 3 cometh. District 1 now goeth out to Cumberland Valley for the trip. All right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial break here, and we'll preview the game with Cumberland Valley.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that after 75 years, Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
but I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Welcome back to the Gridiron. I'm your host, John Brennan, with head coach Chad Brubaker. All right, Coach, let's get right into it here. You're going to go out there. You're going to face a really tough opponent from District 3. You did see them last year. They made the trip down here. Let's get right into it. What are we going to see from Cumberland Valley on offense?
Well, I told the kids, before we even get to that, I told the kids, listen, they've played Central York and Manheim Central. They're 0-2, but this is the best 0-2 team that you'll ever face. Like, that is not
Don't look
indicative.
at the record. Don't look at the record.
Do not look at the records. Central York's quarterback is going to Penn State. Manheim Central's quarterback is very good. He will have offers by the end of his career. And so that's not what we need to do.
Okay.
That's not what we need to do is look at records. So throw that out.
And it's going to be it's a long day for you Friday. You know, you got a 2-hour trek out the turnpike. You know, you got to. It's going to be a long day too. Like they got to be prepared for that.
Exactly.
That's a different type of aspect too.
You know, we're going to their field. You know, they have big crowds. It's the most storied program in District 3. You know, I think they have like 19 district titles or something crazy like that. And it's not like they're playing in the, you know,
a little stadium, Ricky-Dink Stadium.
And it's not like they're playing in a league that's not very good either.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
So Mid-Penn League has been excellent for a long, long time. So offensively, you know, traditionally Cumberland Valley has always been a wing T team back in the day.
Okay.
And so they made a change last year going into the season, and they hired Josh Oswalt from Central York, who was at Central York. He's a Cumberland Valley alum, and you know, he runs a spread offense. So they're going to be in, you know, 5 wide. They're going to be in trips. They're going to be in double twins. You know, they're going to spread you out. And then they also are going to put 2 backs in the backfield and try to run it down your throat as well. So, you know, it presents problems. This is a different offense, even though they haven't put up a lot of points in 2 games. This is a different offense than what we've seen, and it is they're bigger than what we've played so far. They're stronger, and you know, we need to be prepared.
Yeah, it seems like a personnel thing for you. You got to make sure we're the right personnel with what they have. We got to be able to
match that up. Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Use the gift.
Yeah.
I know things today.
Yep.
All right, let's check out Cumberland Valley on offense.
Upcoming highlights are sponsored by XPO Business Equipment.
All right, so here is one of their 2-back sets. They have twins at the top. All right, not that they're not going to throw out of it, so they do. This is against Central York. Kid makes a great catch, and he gets a pass interference call.
Man, look at this big stadium, and you're going to grass, Coach. Let's get on the grass on Friday night.
Yeah, there you go. So just tremendous throw and catch right there. They do a good job. You know, their running backs run real hard. And, you know, he does the job there in terms of, like, that ball's designed to go up the middle, and, you know, he bounces it outside, and he's quick enough to get there. Again, in a 2-back set, here's what we need to watch out for. The quarterback can scramble. All right, again, a great catch, but the quarterback scrambles a lot, and he's good at it. A lot of times
keeps that play alive for them, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll step up into the pocket and run. More so up the field than laterally. Here they go, empty. All right, so, you know, 5 wides. Here's what I'm talking about.
Right, because they rush extra, but he beats the pressure.
He breaks 3 tackles and gets the first down on 3rd and long. So this is what we've got to watch out for is, you know, he takes one look. Is it open? No. And he takes off, breaks tackle there, tackle there, tackle there, first down.
It almost looked like they had a guy watching too, just didn't come up with the play, Central York.
Yeah. And here you go. Again, you lose contain on the pass rush, and he'll beat you outside. And that is a killer. You know, when you have guys covered and guys don't rush in their lanes and allow the quarterback to get outside, that's a killer. That just, you know, you should be off the field, and now you're not. And we had one of those situations on this past Friday night against Chambersburg where one of our defensive ends didn't contain the quarterback. He gets outside, makes a throw, we get a pass interference call. If you rewind that back and he never gets outside of the pocket, that doesn't happen. So
okay. It's an important aspect of what you need to do.
It's huge.
Especially when those other teams have mobile quarterbacks that have the ability to throw the ball.
Yep.
All right, defensively, what are you going to see from the Eagles?
So they're a 4-3 team. They're very aggressive. They hit. They run. They're very good tacklers. We have a big challenge ahead of us. We've scored 48 points, although 2 of those were Coach Mick made sure that I point out a couple of those scores were
for some
defensive scores. And
44 first
44.
week. I got it right here in my paper.
Thanks. So it's going to be a big challenge. I wouldn't expect that many crooked numbers on the board on Friday. Hopefully, but they're very good defensively. They're very good in the box. They try to take away the run. And force you into passing situations, and they come up and tackle. They pursue.
All right, let's check out Cumberland Valley on defense.
Upcoming highlights are sponsored by XPO Business Equipment.
So this is Central York, their quarterback. You're going to see him in a couple years at Penn State, Bo Prabula. Now he does fumble it, but the nice thing is they got penetration and almost kicked that ball out and got a turnover. So I put it on there. It's not like they initially made a great play. He fumbled, but what they did do was continue the penetration, so on the goal line.
This kid's going to Penn State, huh?
He is.
He don't look that big. Is he big?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He's 6'2".
All right.
All right. Here's a great job. The defensive tackle knifing through and making a 3-yard tackle for a loss in the backfield. They try to run a little
swing out play,
flare pass there, and you see there's 4 or 5 guys around the ball. The right tackle probably did the wrong thing for Central York on that play, but regardless. All right, here they are again. Central York was having all kinds of problems with their snap. You see he can scoot a little, right? Just in that little in that little clip, you see he can. Like, that should have been a 4 or 5 yard loss, and he turned it into a yard, but that's a big play. And here's where they
he's a quarterback. He's got the towel down in front of him. That's a quarterback.
Yeah, my son does that too. He does it in the back, though. He does it in the back. He's got his own style.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when guys think they're the QB, they put that towel down in front. Yeah,
well, you
gotta make the look right. Yeah, you gotta get the towel. You gotta make sure you're all good.
Right.
Those are the things I notice. Whatever happens in the field, I'm looking at all those other things out there. All right, Coach. Good
awesome
show. You were excited. All right. Be ready for some hard
I can't wait until next week when you drive in and come up with something.
Yeah. Listen, it just comes to me in the ride.
Biblical references, like biblical language.
Yeah, I don't think we were allowed to talk about that on a school.
Sure you are.
Okay.
We didn't say you have to.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Believe it.
Yeah. I
didn't believe you.
No. Well, you didn't believe me. All right. Well, best of luck to you and the crew Friday night.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Make sure you tune in next week as we recap the game with Cumberland Valley. For the head coach, Chad Brubaker, I'm John Brennan. See you next time on the Gridiron.